Hello and welcome to Granada Reports, live with the latest across the northwest.
Yes, hello. On the programme this evening.
Sizzling in the sunshine, how we've been handling the heat wave on a day of record temperatures in our region.
Hideous. It's not my kind of weather at all.
In 1973, aged 9, going to India for the first time, and this is the heat that I remember.
When it stays hot at night, that's when people don't cool, and the second day, the heat will affect people even more.
A nice cold shower. Chester Zoo closes its doors for 2 days, but we'll hear why Blackpool Zoo decided to stay open.
Talking of cool, yes, that is -4 degrees. We found you possibly the northwest's coldest place.
In other news, in Oliver's memory, a major victory for the dad campaigning to put defibrillators in schools.
An introduction to the thrills and skills of Cycle Speedway.
And the searing sun beat relentlessly down from a clear blue sky. Very hot today, but temperatures peak tomorrow. All the details coming up shortly.
Well, first this evening, there really has only been one hot topic of conversation today, and that is the extreme weather across our region.
The first ever red weather warning is in place as the thermometer continues to rise.
It means if you haven't already done so, you should take action to keep yourself and others safe.
Records have already been broken here in the northwest today, with Nantwich in Cheshire reaching 37 degrees, as hot and even hotter than parts of the Mediterranean.
And there's been substantial disruption to travel. The Bury Metrolink line in Greater Manchester is suspended, and Avanti West Coast, which operates the rail service to London, has advised against taking the train at all for the next couple of days.
Well, Zoe Muldoon reports now on how the region has been coping in this sweltering heat.
A day likely to go into the record books in a way that nobody expected. As temperatures reached 37 degrees in parts of the region, people in Chester tried their best to keep cool and catch what little shade they could.
I remember in 1973, aged 9, going to India for the first time, and this is the heat that I remember.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I am.
It doesn't affect us negatively at all. So it's just like being on holiday, isn't it?
Hideous. It's not my kind of weather at all. I'm a pasty Welshman, I'm not used to this.
So you're wearing the scarf?
So, yeah, I'm wearing the scarf, got it over the head, you've got to cover up.
Too hot. Too hot at this time of day to be trekking around. We're not used to it, no.
The rise in temperatures forced the government to declare an emergency, meaning even the fit and healthy are at risk.
Nighttime temperatures are not going to dip, and that's when our bodies usually cool down. Our bodies are used to what we call diurnal variation, where it's going up and down. Unfortunately, when it stays hot at night, that's when people don't cool, and the second day, the heat will affect people even more. So whilst we're looking and prepared for a 2-day real heat wave spell, I'm expecting tomorrow to be even busier.
Year on year, our emergency services issue water safety advice. But despite the warnings, another young life lost over the weekend. A 16-year-old boy died at Salford Quays after going swimming with friends. In a story that's becoming heartbreakingly familiar, a teenager trying to cool off but never making it home. And today, the cold water at the same spot proved too tempting for some. These church pews are usually reserved for Mass, but St Mary's in Salford opened its doors to everyone today, providing a cool sanctuary from the heat outside.
I brought a freezer from home yesterday that we filled full of ice. We've got ice pops in the fridge. We've got everything so that people can have a bit of relief from the sun, basically.
If your church is open, go to it, because these buildings with high roofs and thick walls stay cool.
But there's no escaping the ferocity of the sun on this farm in Prescott. The extreme heat means the wheat is becoming too dry. Farmer Ollie Hamilton has been forced to harvest early, otherwise the crops will simply go to waste.
If we get these thunderstorms or maybe hailstorms that could be forecast later in the week, this crop is really fragile at the moment because it's been baked basically by this really hot sun. And if you get a tremendous downpour of hail or rain, it will knock it on the floor, and we've wasted a year and hundreds of thousands of pounds growing it.
So is this a glimpse into a terrifying future? Climate experts say it is.
I think it's a bit of a wake-up call for many that climate change isn't just this thing that's going to be happening many years in the future or in, other places in the world, but it's actually already happening in the UK.
At this indoor ski slope in Manchester, staff have been working hard to keep the conditions as Alp-like as possible.
On a normal day, it's quite a shock to the system. For today, I mean, there's people outside currently sunbathing on the grass in not much more than a pair of shorts.
In this unprecedented heat, even the animals need protection from the sun.
So here's Sue, one of my colleagues, and she's just putting a little bit of sun cream on Sam's nose.
At the Donkey Sanctuary in Manchester, they're taking all the precautions they can. With tomorrow set to be even hotter, we're all being urged to do the same. Zoe Muldoon, ITV News.
Yes, fair to say that many of us have a struggle today, and all eyes will be on the weather forecast for the next couple of days. Emma is outside for us this evening. Emma, it has been very hot out there, but where in our region has been the hottest today?
OK, the hottest spot today was Nantwich in Cheshire, 37 Celsius, 98 in Fahrenheit. And that, as Mel said earlier on, has actually smashed all previous records. The previous record was held, again, by Nantwich. It was registered there, 34.6 Celsius on the 3rd of August, 1990. And crawling across the bottom of your screen now, you can see a selection of the highest temperatures from different parts of the region. And it's been a bit funny, it's not just all been sunshine. There has been a little bit of high-level cloud drifting around. It's been thick enough to make some showers at higher levels, if you like, but they haven't all reached the ground. However, one or two have, and some sprinkles have been reported in Fleetwood this afternoon. And also John Pinder reported that at 2:20 for 20 seconds it rained in Rochdale this afternoon. Very precise there.
Very precise. And Emma, we've received a lot of messages from people asking why we're going into a meltdown over a bit of hot weather when so many of us go on holiday to hot countries and are used to these temperatures.
Yes, our old friend social media. I've had a lot of conversations on social media as well in the last 24 hours. Well, yes, we do go abroad to higher temperatures than this, but the UK isn't really set up for these kind of unprecedented temperatures, and they really are quite remarkable. We haven't got the infrastructure for it. If you go on holiday, first of all, it's a choice. You choose to go to those temperatures, and when you arrive in the resort, it's all set up for you. You've got the aircon, you've got places to go to keep cool, you've got the beach, you've got the pool. We just really don't have all those resources here in the UK, and of course everybody rushes to the same place in the UK, which again causes knock-on problems and effects. And our homes, well, Mediterranean homes, again, they are designed to disperse the heat and keep everything cool, but UK homes designed to retain the heat for the temperatures we get for the rest of the year. And don't forget, these temperatures that we're talking about, these are recorded in the shade, not in the full sun, so absolutely scorching if you were in the sun. But, we have to commend the Met Office for forecasting everything in time to give us all time to cope with this heat wave and to prepare for it.
Yeah, the hot weather continues. Emma, thank you.
Liverpool City Council's chief executive has stepped down with immediate effect. Tony Reeves has resigned after a series of council mistakes that could add millions of pounds onto the city's electricity bill.
The Commonwealth Games baton has passed through Liverpool. Former Olympic gymnast Beth Tweddle was among the sports stars in the relay. The relay baton was in Lancashire and Greater Manchester over the weekend. Today, it was carried from Pier Head through Albert Dock and into Liverpool before the Games kick-off in Birmingham later this month.
Well, next to the dad whose heartfelt 10-year mission to make children's lives safer has paid off.
Mark King's son Oliver was only 12 when he died, when he suffered a cardiac arrest after a school swimming lesson in Liverpool. Mark was convinced Oliver's life could have been saved if there'd been a defibrillator on hand.
Well, Mark set up the Oliver King Foundation to campaign for more defibrillators in public spaces, and at the weekend he got the amazing news that the government has committed to putting at least one defibrillator into every state school by the end of the next academic year. And I am delighted to say Mark King is here with us now. Mark, it has taken you 10 years of campaigning to get to this point. Just tell us what your reaction is to the government's announcement.
The news is just overwhelming. It's a monumental piece of news for the foundation. We've worked tirelessly since losing Oliver. Oliver went to school that morning on the 2nd of March 2011 on a swimming lesson, doing what he loved most, which was sport. Suffered a cardiac arrest and we lost him. He never came home.
Tell us exactly, Mark, what the government's actually said and what this is actually going to mean in practice.
Well, we had a meeting with Nadim Zawali and with Jamie Kagger as well, because the 23 Foundation's on board, so Jamie was with us, and he agreed that every school should get a defib, and he'll pay for it, which was a bonus because we never asked him to pay. We've been on an embargo for a few weeks, and please believe me, it's been hard for me. I've been biting my tongue, will you?
Mark, what does the research tell us about the importance of defibrillators and why they're so important, especially when somebody has just had a cardiac arrest?
We lose across our country between 12 and 19 young lives per week because of lack of defibrillators. And when I read the stats, when I lost our all, I was like, I can't sit back knowing that that's going to happen to other families. And, you know, we lost Oliver on the 2nd of March 2011, and the foundation was formed in February 2012. And we've worked tirelessly with government. Every time you get close, they have a reshuffle, and you've got to start again. You know, and it's like, that's the frustrating bit. You can just see the finishing line, and then you get put back. And that was frustrating, but Nadim was just straight on it. He knew what we had to do, he knew what the government had to do, and he just took it forward for us. Absolutely fantastic.
It's taken you 10 years to get to this point, but I don't know about you, Mark. I get the impression that this isn't the end of the journey. There is more to come.
This is just the beginning. I mean, I think what's kicked the government in is, I said to them, look, I don't want to be here in 11 years again, and this isn't completed. So we put 12 months on it. It's going to be hard to do, but I think it can be done. You see, what happens is we've always said they need a bit of awareness training with the defibs, and that's just to take the fear factor out of using them. Imagine a defib coming to your office in a cardboard box, and everyone's like, hang on a minute, how does that work? Who's going to get it rescue ready, and who's going to use it? And that's when the panic starts coming in. So the Oliver King Foundation, we put 6,000 defibs out since February 2012. We've trained 135,000 people into the use of them, but we saved 64 lives. Another life saved on Friday. We got the message on Friday, so we're into 65 now.
You've done an amazing job. Just very quickly, what do you think Oliver would have made of what you've achieved?
Well, I always instilled in Arnold never to give up. He was a footballer, so you play, you're in with your team, you know, you don't give up. And I know he's looking at me now going, don't give up, Dad, just push on. And that's what we're going to do.
We'd be so proud of you. Mark, thank you so much for coming in and telling us that amazingly good news.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there is much more information about the work of the Oliver King Foundation on our website. Just head to itv.com/Granada for more of that.
OK, here's what's still to come on the ITV News at 6:30 with Charlie.
Britain bakes in the heatwave on the hottest day of the year. Trains have been cancelled, some schools are closed and hospitals are feeling the pressure. Warnings too over water safety after 2 teenagers die in Northumberland and Berkshire. Across Europe, heat waves are causing devastating fires. We're in France, where thousands are being evacuated. And 5 becomes 4 in the race to be the next Prime Minister. Join us for those stories and more from 6:30.
Well, next to a sport some of you might not have heard of, Cycle Speedway. And for the first time ever, the European Cycle Speedway Championships are coming to the northwest, to Tyldesley in Greater Manchester. As our reporter Claire Hanna explains, this is a sport which was born in the aftermath of the Second World War.
They're off. It's only a bomb site, just a bunch of kids having fun. But here's where stars of speed are born.
Kids who were bored after 6 years of war started their own fun. They marked out rough and ready tracks on bomb sites, copying the Speedway riders and riding basic stripped-down bikes.
They come up now to the starting line.
The bomb sites were cleared, but then proper tracks were built. And 75 years on, there are more than 40 cycle speedway clubs in the UK. And if you know motorbike speedway, this is pretty similar. No brakes, no gears, and it is pretty intense.
4 riders racing around a small oval-shaped dirt track. It's a sprint discipline, so the races last about 45 seconds.
You can't ride people off the track or bash them off the bike or ride them into the fence, but a certain amount of physical contact is allowed within the rules. So yeah, there is. I think it shocks people when they see senior racing for the first time. There's a little bit of elbowing going on.
There wasn't that much elbowing going on when we came to a training session at Astley and Tyldesley, but this club, set up in 1989, has become a real heart of the community with riders of all ages, including Jonah, who's just 4, and let us put a GoPro on him.
Well, he learnt to ride when he was 2 years old, and we were desperate to get him started on his bike. Dad's a keen cyclist, so we heard about this place and we just decided to come along.
I didn't really like football, and I like cycling, so Dad found it, and that's the reason why I go, because I need to do a sport to keep fit.
You have fun and you push people off.
It's just loads of fun. It's good.
You get to join in and experience it, and you get to earn medals and stuff.
It's a lot of fun. You can push people.
You can push people. And this might surprise you. This rider with the Union flag on his helmet is a footballer. It's Burnley's Adam Phillips, who's recently been on loan at Morecambe.
Adam started with us as a 4-year-old. He won 3 British titles as a junior rider, and he turned out for us as recently as 2019.
The European Cycle Speedway Championships take place right here at the Gin Pit on the final weekend of this month, which of course is when the football season kicks off. But if football's not your thing, why don't you come and have a look what this is all about?
Don't you just love the reason why the kids like it? You get to push people off their bikes.
Basically, that's what it's all about, isn't it? There's definitely a theme there. Thank you, Mike.
OK, back to our top story now. How the region's coping with the heat wave.
Yeah, Chester Zoo, they decided in advance to close the doors to visitors today and tomorrow. The elephants have certainly been enjoying it. Here they are, getting a nice cold shower to cool down. Very hot in Chester today.
Yeah, that does look delightful, doesn't it? But at Blackpool Zoo, celebrating 50 years this month, of course, they decided to stay open.
And we're heading to Blackpool now, and our reporter Paul Crone. Croney, you've had a busy day at the zoo. Have you found somewhere to cool off?
Thank you, Mal. Cool off? Cool off? If I'm lost half a stone in sweat whizzing all over Blackpool today, I shall want to know the answer why. But we have got a good reason why we're here. Look at this. We're on the historic North Pier in Blackpool. And there we go. The world-famous Blackpool Tower. What a view just for you. But earlier on this morning, we had a little whiz along to the local zoo, Blackpool Zoo, to see how the animals are coping in the heat. And here's what happened down at the zoo. It's important to take on board plenty of fluids during a heat wave, whether you're human or Emmett the Asian elephant. Or you could go one step further like Tara here and take the plunge completely. Just a few ways the animals at Blackpool Zoo are keeping cool. For the sea lions, it's not a problem. Plus plenty of sprats in ice will do nicely, thank you.
When it's really warm and sunny, especially with the heat that we have now, our pool, as you can see, is lovely and cool. So they'll spend the majority of their time, obviously, in the nice, cool, cold water. It's not heated, it's pretty cold, and you know, we'll do a bit of a water change as well, just to try and keep the temperature quite cool.
As Chester Zoo has closed its doors to visitors today and tomorrow, Blackpool has remained open, working on the theory that the animals are here anyway and are cared for every day. It's not like they're heading out to the beach on a day out. Zoogoers today were happy with the situation and taking plenty of precautions against sunburn.
I put it on before I left. I put quite a lot on because I didn't want to burn.
Put it on this morning before we come out in just regular intervals.
Best thing you've seen in the zoo and why?
Like the zebras and like the elephants as well.
Back to the residents, and a usual slow pace of life for some got even more chill today. A case of I'll move at my own pace in my own time. In the lemur enclosure, well, it was all a bit much for some. For others, fruity ice cubes, anyone? Very refreshing.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. The weather has been quite good leading up to this very, very strong heat wave that we're currently having. So it's been a build-up over the past week or two of dry, warm weather anyway, which is nice, especially for the penguins and the sea lions. It's meant that they've been able to gradually get used to the warmer, milder weather, so it's not a sudden shock to their system.
And the penguins were perfecting their backstroke. Heat wave, what heat wave? Ooh, a poolside snack. And there was still time for a spot of bobbing for apples. Oh, and a final cold shower for Emmett. Jealous, you bet. Oh, that shower looks so tempting. But here we are down the bottom of the North Pier at the lovely garden. Here we are. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Oh, they've been here for hours. I don't think there's anybody to... All right. They're having a great time, in no small part thanks to DJ Des Grant, who's on the wheels of steel. You're running the music today. Songs you played the most today?
Oh gosh, well, the most popular ones, I'd say My Guy, Temptations, Proud Mary, Tina Turner, and a bit of Luther.
A bit of Luther.
Never too much.
Has it been a good day today,
It's been absolutely incredible. The sun's out. I mean, look at this for a venue. It's absolutely amazing.
And tomorrow even hotter.
I believe so. Hotter than Barbados.
Hotter than Barbados, Des. Thank you very much indeed. Well, he's a star, isn't he? Looks the part. Now then, we've got two very special guests I do want you to meet. We've got Michael Wilson and his partner, Joanne. You may wonder, who is Michael Wilson? Michael, tell me your job.
I am the Queen's Guide to Morecambe Bay.
You are the Queen's Guide to Morecambe Bay, so you do all the walks across the sands. How many? You've been doing it 5 years now. Yep. How long does it take?
It takes about 3 hours to walk across the bay. We're invited down today to see the North West Air Ambulance because we had a big charity walk for them last week and we raised over £7,000.
What do you love about the walk? Because it's such a prestigious role.
Meeting the people.
There's all sorts, isn't there?
All sorts of people.
Now, Joanne, you've done the walk obviously a few times, being Michael's partner. Why do people love it so much? It's just so different, isn't it?
It's such a unique event, but it's all for charity, and everything we do is for charity, and it's a massive fundraiser for the charities, and it's just great.
How good is he at his job?
Oh, very good.
And you're on holiday, so you're on holiday just having a day out?
Having a day out tonight and staying tonight over in Blackpool.
Lovely. Well, listen, it's absolutely fantastic. So the only person here who hasn't got a drink is me, but I will have one after I've had a shower. It's lovely here, and it's goodbye from the North Pier in Blackpool.
Crony, thank you. Get yourself a well-deserved drink and ice cream. Enjoy, mate.
Yeah, let's cross back to Emma now, though. So, Emma, lots of warnings about tomorrow. Are we looking at more record temperatures?
I reckon we are, and actually not just by day either, by night as well. We think we might smash some nocturnal minima records too. We're in a nice melty kind of puddle here, but don't forget, be safe if you have to go out in it. We're not advocating going out in the sun, but you know, sun hat, water, check on people who live alone, just be safe out there. Let's take a look at the forecast. Here's the detail.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
So I hope you had a good day and kept cool and stayed hydrated. The amber and red warnings for extreme heat remain in place until midnight tomorrow night, and then they drop off, and Wednesday should be feeling much fresher. But tomorrow temperatures peak because we have this plume of very hot air crossing west to east across the country. But by Wednesday, more of a northwesterly feed, so things should feel a lot fresher, a lot more comfortable. Northwesterly, much better than this direct southerly airflow that we have at the moment. So all that reflects in the warnings. You can see from the shaded areas there, the red one just nibbles into the south of our patch, and tomorrow through parts of Cheshire we could get up to 38 Celsius, and that's 100 Fahrenheit. Further to the north and east there across the Pennines towards Hull, maybe 41 Celsius, and down in a corridor towards London an isolated 42 Celsius, and that's actually 108 in Fahrenheit. So we think we're going to smash the current UK record. It's up to 38.1 today, so I think we're going to smash that 38.7 tomorrow for sure. And these are the temperatures reflected for the rest of the week, certainly turning a bit cooler from Wednesday onwards, where we'd expect the temperatures to be for the time of year, around 21, 22 Celsius. Now, people have been saying to me, but yeah, we get 30 plus temperatures, you know, in the summer. We do get it. But actually, if you look at these last few years, you'll see that it's become a lot more frequent that we've had temperatures in excess of 35 Celsius, reflecting climate change. So just focusing down on us again, overnight tonight, maybe one or two isolated showers, a bit breezy over the tops, and temperatures very uncomfortable for sleeping. 26 Celsius, your lowest temperature. That's 79 Fahrenheit in Manchester. And tomorrow, more sunshine, again isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, like I say, up to 38 Celsius, but after that things cooling down. Here's your pollen.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
On then to the pollen report now. Surprisingly counts low to moderate over the next few days, but we are coming to the end of the grass pollen season. Also, there's a little bit of wildflower pollen in there and some mugwort as well. That's it. Bye-bye.
I mean, just looking at the numbers on the map on Emma's weather report, remarkable figures, aren't they?
It's just bonkers, isn't
Yeah.
it? And yeah, 41 degrees.
41 degrees, yeah. Stay
amazing.
cool, people. You've been telling us your weather stories today and how you've been coping with the heat.
Yeah, thanks to Ian Clark in Tyldesley. Here's the thermometer in his back garden just a few minutes ago. It says 41 degrees in the shade. Wow, that is hot. Thanks for that, Ian. Stay cool and take care.
Yeah, Juliet says she drenched her sun lounger cushions with water and the dog has been laid on them with a fan to keep cool. I think I'm going to join the dog there.
Yeah,
Sounds
good idea. Daz says, I'm 71. I worked as a binman in the heat wave of 1976. It was hard work, but I got on with it. People are afraid of hot weather these days.
Liam says the tar on the road has been melting in Reddish and Stockport.
Wow. And Jack says she's just been chilling out, keeping cool, plenty of fluids, no need to worry.
Yeah, remember the message, everyone. Stay cool, look after yourselves and each other. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Good night.